Hello, you wonderful people. It is time for another story. Tell you how my Saturday went. But before I get into the story, y'all know, if y'all been following along a bit, you know how many jobs I've got going on and how crazy my life is lately. This past weekend was like the first weekend in a while I've had a whole weekend off. So I told my husband on Friday, I was like, look, we're gonna go to the store once I get off work because I want a nice, relaxing weekend. I have the whole weekend off. I want to be able to relax. He's like, okay, sounds good to me. So we did. Friday, I go to the store, do our grocery shopping and everything, and then we come back, and my dad messages me and says, hey, are you busy tomorrow? Are you working or got something going on? I said, actually, no. Got our shopping done today even. Like, nothing going on. And he's like, well, it's been a long time. Do we want to surprise the kiddos with IHOP? And I was like, sounds great. We'll go to IHOP. We'll get to see you and hang out, and it'll be fun. I love my dad. So that was our plans. Our plans were to get up Saturday and get the kids ready, tell them that we've got a surprise, which, as y'all know, my car doesn't fit all of our family. So my dad was planning on coming all the way to our house and then gonna pick up 1 to 2 of the kiddos to have them ride with him over to IHOP. And so he gets there. We're all excited. Kids are excited, other than Mills. She was kind of freaked out, but, you know, she's still in that baby stage of, if I don't see you every day or every other day, I don't know who you are. You need to remind me, basically. So she was like, I don't know who this is. Somebody's coming in our house. I'm freaked out. Daddy, help. So, anyway, she did get used to him. It was fine. But we all loaded up and everything. The kids were excited. Papa was here. We start going and everything. My dad's following us. We get onto the highway, and I get up to 80, and my car decides that it's basically gonna die. At that point, it didn't die, but I couldn't accelerate anymore, and, well, I say I couldn't accelerate anymore. I wasn't trying to accelerate anymore. I was trying to get it to 80, but all of a sudden, my speedometer was going up to 80, and then I get to 80, and it starts going like this as I'm trying to get it back to 80. I'm like, what is going on? Well, all of a sudden it kicks in again. I let go of the gas and start doing it again, and it goes back up, and I get about to 75, and then it starts going down. I'm like, crap, what the heck is going on? So I obviously know something's wrong. I hit the flashers. My dad is behind me, and he's okay, instantly blinker on. I can see his blinkers on, so he's basically telling me and everybody else we're getting over. So I pull over, and he's like, what is going on? Mind you, my dad has saved me with car issues so many times. So many times. He's not a licensed mechanic, but he knows more than the basic stuff. I'll put it that way. So if something's going on, he pretty much knows what it is. He's got a scanner to usually tell him what it is. If he doesn't know how to fix it exactly, he gets on Google or YouTube, tries to figure it out exactly how to do it, and he can pretty much do it. If he had a shop of his own, he could do it, but he doesn't have a shop of his own. He plans to in like the next couple of years. He plans to. I even told him, I was like, can you just retire already and get your shop built, and I'll just work for you. But anyway, that's beside the point. So he said, well, what's going on? So I told him what was happening. And I said it literally before I could even get pulled over, my car died. Battery light came on, like everything. It died. I don't know what's going on. He's like, okay, well, pop the hood. Let's see, take a look at it and everything. We look at everything. We're looking through stuff. He's like, everything looks fine. It doesn't make sense. And I was like, well, so hold on. Let's check the air filter, because last time I was having issues like this, a mouse had gotten into the air filter and chewed up like 2 little pieces on it, and it was freaking out the car. I don't know why, but it was. So I pulled it out. Air filter looks almost brand new. It literally looks brand new, other than the little spots where the mouse had previously taken those pieces out. So we're like, okay, it's not that. What the heck is it? Well, he was like, well, we're almost to the exit up here. He asked if there's a place close that we could get to. I said, well, there's an AutoZone or an O'Reilly's just further down the road, but it's going to take us a bit to try and get there, but we can try. So I turn on the car. He said, well, I'll just follow you. We'll putt-putt, stay on the side of the road. I know up here we've got the bridge, so you got to get in the road basically here, but we're gonna take it slow. So I start the car, let it sit for a second, put it in drive, go forward a little bit, and it dies. So I try it again. Go for it. We did this about 5 times and it died every single time. And I'm like, I don't know. So I got to the point where we started testing it. We turned the car on, we just let it idle, and 30 seconds later, it died. Tried again, same thing. Tried again, same thing. So we're like, this is gonna take us literally forever. Not only that, there's another hill we have to go up on the other side of this. It's not gonna make it. So we start looking into finding a car dolly. There's a U-Haul place just down the road. So we called them and they said, well, there's one actually just a little bit, like a mile further down the road. They're probably going to be the ones that you need. I'm like, okay. So leave my car on the side of the road. Thankfully, my dad's vehicle fits all of us. So I don't know what the heck we would have done if it didn't. I'd be sitting in my hot car and just sending the babies with him to make sure that they're all okay, I guess. But anyway, his car did fit us all, so we're all in the car. We all squeeze into his car and start going to the U-Haul place. We get to U-Haul, get a car dolly. It wasn't that bad. It was like $50 with the insurance. The insurance is like $8 on it. There's like, insurance is $8. Do you want it? And he's like, you know what? Let's get it just in case, because I ain't gonna mess up the dolly, but who knows if somebody else already has, and I don't want the blame on me. So just put it on there. So we get it on there and get it all hooked up and stuff, and we go back to my car and get it on there, which it literally died like 3 or 4 times trying to get it onto the dolly. That was ridiculous. But we got it on there, got it all tied up and everything, and we start taking it to, where do we go? AutoZone. By the way, all these places I'm mentioning, not a sponsor, which I'll probably already know that, but whatever. I'm just mentioning it, not a sponsor. So we go to AutoZone and have them scan it, and it says it's the O2 sensor. And we're like, okay, we were thinking it's either something like that or fuel filter or something. So they run it and everything and says, this is the one you need, we're gonna do this. Now mind you, we were supposed to be going to IHOP to get something to eat. I let my kids eat something small so that it would like hold them over till we got to IHOP. I was not expecting it to take this long to get to IHOP. Some of my babies are like starving and I feel so bad. I was like, and I even told them, I was like, look guys, I'm sorry, I did not expect this to happen. If I would have known this was gonna happen, I would have let y'all eat breakfast before we got to IHOP. I'm sorry. And my 2 oldest was like, it's okay mama, it's not your fault, you didn't do this. I was like, love my babies. So anyway, we get to AutoZone, they scan it, it says the O2 sensor, this is the one you need. So my dad says, okay, you know what, we're gonna get that, but before I try to fix it, we're gonna take these kids to go eat. We'll come back. Because he also put the O2 sensor wrench on loan. They had it on loan. So he was like, well, we're gonna go eat and we'll be back. And so we go to IHOP, finally eat. Kids loved it, they were happy. Once we're done eating, my dad says, well, I'm gonna go out there and start trying to fix this. Y'all can finish up eating and everything. Here's the money to pay for everything. Tips included in it. Just give it to us. Okay. So he goes out there, starts trying to fix it and everything. We get out there and he says, well, it's the wrong part. I was like, it's the wrong part? You looked it up and everything. And he said, yeah, well, there's 2 different types of O2 sensors. There's male and there's female. And you can't put 2 females together. And I was like, no, you can't. And that's what the issue was. And he said, so I said, well, we had to go back anyway, so it's not like this is out of the way, but it is frustrating. So we get back over to AutoZone, get the correct part, put it in, and it takes the error codes away, but the car's still not working for some reason. It's really crap. What the heck is going on? So the guy in AutoZone recommended a mechanic. He said he did have a shop, but the tornado took it out. So now he's just running his business out of his home shop until he can get that built again. So here's his address. Here's a map to the place. Go there. Let him know that you're on your way. It's like, okay. So we head there. We meet up with the guy, tell him what's going on. And, we tell him that literally everything we've been through. And he says, okay, well, it sounds like it's the fuel pump. We're like, yeah, that's kind of what we were thinking. But we'll see. He said, well, I can't get to it till Monday. Mind you, that was Saturday. Y'all know I have a full-time job from Monday to Friday. So I'm like, crap. Okay, so well, I don't think I'm gonna get fired if I miss like 1 to 2 days. But we'll see, I guess, whatever happens. So he said that he can get to it Monday, but whenever he does get to it, he knows that he can fix it Monday. But my dad says, well, I get off work at 1. If you can't fix it before then, we'll just pick it up on Tuesday after I get off work. Because he lives on the other side of the city. Works in the city, lives on the other side of the city. So if he gets off work, there's no call. He's heading the other direction. He's like, I'm not going to drive all the way back over here. I don't blame him. So, like, okay. So we're waiting and everything, and I feel completely weird, which my dad ends up driving us home. It's great. So, yeah, my not so eventful weekend, or my relaxing weekend, turned into chaos. Sunday wasn't too bad. Monday comes around, I'm waiting for the call, and I'm like, well, I don't know what's going on. My dad says, well, have you called him? I said, I don't have his information. I'm pretty sure the number was on the map that was given to you. And I gave him my number. I don't know what his number is. He said, okay, well, then I'll call him. I said, okay. So he calls, and answering machine comes on, says that they're closed Sunday and Monday. He said, but my dad said, don't worry, mechanics usually do that, and that's usually when they get their work done, is when they're closed, their working hours are closed, because they don't have to answer calls, they don't, and I was like, okay, well, let's hope that's what's happening. It was. So he calls later, like Monday evening, and says that he's got it all finished and everything, and I was like, okay, cool. I said, well, we'll come get it tomorrow. I said, well, my dad said that he has cash if you can let him know how much we owe you. And he said, well, it wasn't the fuel filter, so I'll just charge you $100. And I was like, oh, okay, thanks. And we get off the phone. And so I told my husband that, and he goes, well, what was it? I said, I don't know. That's all he said. I don't know. I don't know what it was. He says it wasn't the fuel filter. He's only charging us $100. And he was like, okay, well, now I want to know what it was. I said, I do too. So I don't know. He said, well, did he test drive it? I said, I don't know. I'm telling you what he told me. I don't know. He was like, okay, well, let's hope it works whenever you get it. I was like, yeah, no kidding. So, Tuesday, yesterday, my dad comes after work and picks me up, which that was funny in itself. I start getting up and getting ready because I can hear him outside, and Rubius was like, I want to go with you, Mom, I want to go with you. I said, no, you got to stay here with Daddy, it's okay. And he's like, want to go with you? I said, no, you got to stay here. Well, I opened my bedroom door, and my dad's walking in through the front door, and Bubba's face lights up. Papa! Runs over all excited. Well, at the same exact time, Nils goes and turns and runs the opposite direction. So they had like identical faces, but different reactions. It's just like there's somebody coming in the house that isn't sister or sissy, and I'm scared. Daddy hip. But she turns around, she runs to Brandon and everything, but it was okay. So anyway, side story. But we get in his car and we start driving, and we go to see the mechanic. And sorry, that was real shaky. We get there, we're like, okay, so what the heck was it? And he said, well, before I started messing with the fuel filter, I wanted to do a scan of the whole car, make sure everything was okay. He said the O2 sensor still came up because, wasn't cleared off. He said, but it was coming up another sensor. And he was like, well, that's kind of odd. The fuel filter says it's fine and everything. There's another sensor. What is going on here? So he thought, well, maybe it's old or something for how how old my car is. And he said, you know what, I'm going to pull it out and look at it, see if we don't need to buy another one, see what happens. So he looks at it. He says there was a little piece of debris in there. So he got his air hose, turned it way down, blew it out of there, stuck it back in, and the car runs fine. He said he had it running for like 20 minutes. He was working on another car at the same time, but had it running for 20 minutes, even revved it up and everything, and it was running fine. Decided to erase all the scans, scan it again, and everything came back fine. That's all it was. It was a piece of debris on a sensor. Thankfully, you know, it could have been a whole lot worse, but that was crazy. So that was my Saturday. I'm gonna get off here, and I will see y'all next time. Thank you so much for watching, liking, and subscribing. I will see you later. Bye!